WRKS Pickens Jackson.
You ready?
Let's go! 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now live in the Bank Plus studio, where college football meets the all lifestyle.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is
The Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds, streaming around the world live at the Out of Bounds radio app and on your radio at ESPN 105.9.
Where are you?
The Zone.
All right, hour number 3 of the Out of Bounds Show, brought to you by Welcome Home Beef. Stark Vegas, Mississippi, Main Street. You can drop by there today, tomorrow, Saturday. Grab fillets, New York strips, ribeyes, porterhouses, prime rib, bone-in short ribs. They will also deliver to your door. That's right. So if you're hosting 12, 15 people over the holidays and you need, 6 to 8 fillets, 6 to 8 ribeyes, and 6 to 8 New York strips, welcomehomebeef.com. Give them a call, and they will be happy to ship and deliver to your door. That's Welcome Home Beef, Starkville, Mississippi. Out of
It ain't
bounds,
bragging if you can back it up.
105.9 The Zone. And we have, we'll be able to show you on camera here at 9:15. Will with Welcome Home Beef was kind enough to bring in bone-in short ribs, which are amazing, and a whole prime rib. Bone-in short ribs and prime rib, compliments of Welcome Home Beef, Starkville, Mississippi. If you're there for game day or work, traveling sales rep, whatever you're doing, stop by Welcome Home Beef on Main Street, and that's welcomehomebeef.com. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. We hit recruiting early. You can still sign players today and tomorrow, and then they'll shut it down, so to speak, for a few weeks, and then you'll come back. They'll come back about mid-January, and they'll go another 2.5 weeks to February, whatever, 2nd, 3rd, or something like that. And then it's kind of open for a while. And then, of course, the transfer portal is now north of 200 players in just 2 weeks. So who knows how that's going to look? I think you got to be very cautious. I think it sounds good. You find a guy who can fit and contribute. The Yeboah deal at Ole Miss was really nice pickup. That is an outlier, in my opinion. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that we'll see, a nice percentage of transfers contribute and be, Yeboah is not great, but he's good. Now, his measurables are, who knows what he could turn into once he gets to the NFL. But he's had a good season in Oxford. I mean, when you go 524 yards, 6 TDs in only 7 games, 27 catches, actually, he is borderline. I mean, that's really good at the collegiate level. 1 year, first year, no spring, pandemic. That's probably about as good as it gets for as far as a transfer. Is it Kenny Yeboah? Yeah, Kenny Yeboah from Temple. 524 yards receiving, 6 TDs in 7 games, 27 catches. So other than Elijah Moore, and he's had some long, like 70 and 80-yard plays, which has been, they were really scheming him up early. He had some explosive touchdowns, and we'll see what he does this weekend against LSU. He may be running wide open all day. Actually, there's a good possibility that he'll be running wide open all day.
When you have a vacuum cleaner like Elijah Moore sucking up all those catches, it's hard to get more than 4 catches a game.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, probably on almost any other than like Florida, who has Kyle Pitts, almost any other roster in the SEC, that guy's catching eight balls a game minimum, probably. Right. But Elijah's just almost always the first read. You know what I mean? And rightfully so.
Sure. We did Show Me the Money in the first hour, and so I picked Ole Miss and Mississippi State.
Why not? Life's too short to be pessimistic for the rest of the season.
Well,
a.k.a. this weekend.
Ole Miss at LSU. All the money's on Ole Miss.
It's moved 4.5 points
which
in
is
favor of the Rebs.
That's an enormous amount of money on
That's
the
almost
Rebs.
a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's
So,
insane.
If it's true that it's $500,000 every half point,
So
that's a ton of dough going on Ole Miss.
it's $2.5 million.
Just so you'll know, New Jersey is setting sports gambling record numbers in a pandemic. They are shattering Vegas and what has happened before. We haven't even scratched the surface on sports gambling in the country, which, by the way, go by the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook. You'll love it. It's super cool, great bar, great sportsbook. And if you bet $50 there, you can play Dancing Rabbit Golf Club for $30. Live in the Bank Plus studio, I learned something new today.
What'd you learn?
Well, there's a show called Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and it's on FX.
That's right. Yeah, I'm not sure where it airs now, but it was on FX.
Do you think that I could watch it and get into it?
Yeah, it's very funny.
Okay, so I could go find this somewhere. Seasons.
Yeah, it was on Netflix for a while. Let me go. I'll see.
Well,
where
I'm always on Netflix,
Yeah.
so I can. I'm not always on Netflix, but that's my go-to over Amazon Prime. I don't know. I guess some people are more Amazon Prime.
I'm a Hulu / Netflix guy.
Oh, are you?
Well,
man.
I don't pay for the Netflix account. I pay for the Hulu account.
Okay.
My significant other pays for the Netflix account. We share.
Okay.
It's called teamwork. It makes the dream work.
Are you okay?
Yeah, living the dream.
All right.
Fat and happy. I don't have any blood in my system. It's just red meat now at this point.
Well, you had dinner at Kessler Prime last night.
Yeah,
and
10-ounce fat boy
Of course,
filet.
you didn't pay for it.
No.
And then now, Will, with Welcome Home Beef, brought us bone-in
Yeah.
short ribs and prime rib.
Yeah, I'm not paying for that either.
And you hadn't paid for that.
Nope.
And so you're just on a roll.
Yeah.
And
you
then
do what
you've
you do.
got, and you didn't even invite me to your brother's wedding.
That's true. You did mention that. To be fair, that was a move of kindness on your part. I didn't want you to have to say no.
Okay. Because you know I would have.
Yeah, and
I don't
you
go
weren't
to
going to go.
weddings.
Exactly.
I already did that run. I've told you that.
Yeah, so really what I did was take one for the team. I said,
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
Yeah, I don't. I'll go to a rehearsal dinner every now and then,
Yeah,
but I don't really do weddings.
fair enough. You can
I
watch.
did that run. Everybody gets married once you turn like 25, sometimes a little earlier, but you go through that run in life
where everyone gets married.
23-ish, 24 through 30, 31. We seem to get married early down here.
Yes, we did.
In the major metropolitan areas, they wait usually post 30. But anyway, it's a Southern thing.
Well,
it's kind of a Greek thing. And
less
it's kind
career
of
oriented.
Yeah. And it's just it's a Sunbelt Southern thing.
Mhm.
It's hard to explain. And it's an SEC thing, I think. But anyway, point is, I did that run, and so I'm good.
Yeah, I know. You can watch Always Sunny on YouTube TV, Hulu, Sling TV. So it's all over.
Okay. I've got some of
we
that.
can pull it. I'll pull it up after the show. I'll show you an episode.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
I can find you an episode.
Oh, we can get
YouTube.
it on
That's what I'm saying.
here.
Yeah, you can get it on YouTube TV.
Sweet.
We can make it work.
I got to figure out how to work the YouTube
and
TV.
it's still airing on FXX, which is their new.
Never
channel.
heard of it.
Well, it's the FX new. It's just new branding. So same.
You
channel.
know, if it's not on ESPN, family of networks,
Yep. Like NBC,
ABC, NBC,
yeah.
CBS football.
Are you a USA guy? Or I guess now it is USA still. USA, the channel. So they like NCIS and like all that stuff. See, I was a big USA guy growing up.
No,
USA
I
Network.
don't really do that. I'll watch the Golf Channel.
Okay.
And
see, FX was big for me growing up because it had Archer, had all the good shows.
I got you.
FX was a little bit edgier. It was like that mix between adult cartoon, well, not necessarily cartoon, but like adult and young adult edginess kind of. So they'd have shows that were a little bit more push the boundaries on like FX and stuff like that. Watch a lot of that.
Yeah. I don't really watch that. And Wendy likes the Guy Fieri show, so I'll walk in every now and then and catch a little bit of that.
I sit on some Food Network.
And if he's in a cool local dive that I'm interested in, then I'll hang for
Diners,
another 15
drive-ins,
minutes.
and dives. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically their network. I mean, he's like LeBron James to the NBA. Seriously.
He does.
They would fold if they didn't have Guy Fieri, they wouldn't have any content. It's incredible. They run a show 18 times a day. It's remarkable. I hope he's got to be making gazillions. Welcome Home Beef in the house. We'll tell you more about it on the other side. Welcome in. Good morning.
Entergy Mississippi is committed to providing affordable, reliable, and clean power to Mississippians for generations to come. So we're taking steps to make it easier for our customers to self-generate solar electricity and incorporate solar into our power grid. The Mississippi Public Service Commission approved net metering for Entergy Mississippi solar users in 2016. Since then, registered customers have received credit for excess solar energy sent back to the power grid. Entergy Mississippi operates the state's first utility-owned large solar project. Power generated and data collected from our 3 solar sites have helped determine how to further explore solar power. We're also studying the viability of community solar programs. This new concept enables customers to participate in larger solar farms as a community rather than installing solar panels on individual homes. Entergy Mississippi is dedicated to powering a brighter future with solar. Learn more at EnergyMississippi.com.
61 Live. It's Mississippi's only food sports show on the airwaves. We're the only World Food Championship host in the state. This is the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds.
Man, it's been a big week for food and beverage in the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the Bank Plus studio. 105.9 The Zone, WRKS. We're streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app. Right now, you can watch the show on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports, or Facebook. Search the Out of Bounds Show. And we'll show you a delicious prime rib and pecan pie. Here's what's sad. Now, we did get some pictures. We already tore the bone-in short ribs from Welcome Home Beef. We already just tore into those. That's typical guy stuff. When you don't have a female in here, Blake and I, of course, it looked like Bam Bam in the Flintstones. I mean, we had these huge bones, and the short ribs were amazing. We want to thank Will Sanders, who's with me with Welcome Home Beef. And also, real quick to our listeners, Blake's brother is getting married this weekend, and Blake didn't invite me. Should I thank him?
Because I care about you.
Or should I give him a hard time? Mississippi Ag text line 601-885-3776. Will Sanders. Blake, have you had a bite of the before I go to Will, have you had a bite of the bone-in short ribs?
Yes, it's almost gone.
That is
it's phenomenal.
Incredible.
The crust, the char on it, fantastic. It's got that like incredible smoky ring on the outside that tastes so good. And then the inside is succulent, juicy, soft. I mean, it melts in your mouth. The outside's crunchy and the inside just melts.
Hey, Will Sanders left Starkville at 6:30 this morning to drop some ridiculous food on us.
Shout out.
Welcome Home Beef. Will, good morning. Tell us, first of all, thank you. Let's start with the bone-in short ribs. Tell me about them.
Hey, Bo, it's good to be back. Yeah, so we smoked some bone-in short ribs for about 3 or 4 hours, and then put them in the oven, and they turned out fabulous. They actually come from the plate of the animal, so that's kind of where they come from. And not a lot of restaurants really serve those nice big short ribs anymore, and they're absolutely fantastic for the smoker or for game day or for tailgating or anything like that. So
bone-in short ribs from Welcome Home Beef, spectacular. Blake lost his mind over there. You also brought us a whole prime rib, right?
We did. This is a great holiday item if you need it shipped to you, if you want to pick it up in the store. But this thing is great. It's fantastic. It's kind of a forgotten piece of meat, but it is about a 10 or 12 pound prime rib that'll feed your whole family. And man, it's a treat, and you'll look like a king when you put it on a plate for sure.
Yes, you will. WelcomeHomeBeef.com, located in Main Street, Starkville, Mississippi. Will brought in some bone-in short ribs and prime rib today for Blake and I to have a feast. Now, we want to let people know that they can stop by the shop in Starkville.
Absolutely.
And fill up, which I was there last week. Or you can call Welcome Home Beef and order, and y'all will ship them to someone's door, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We have some packages on our website that you can choose, and we can ship those to you. or you can call us at 662-268-8148, and we can customize you a package and ship it to you. It doesn't have to particularly be one of those packages on our website. You can call us, and we can get that shipped to you in a matter of a couple days.
This is pretty cool. Free shipping for orders over $250. WelcomeHomeBeef.com. Fillets, ribeyes, and strips, porterhouses, but also all kinds of fun things like bone-in short ribs and prime rib, among many other things there at Welcome Home Beef. Blake, what's up?
I was going to say, I think y'all just opened the truck back too, correct?
Yeah, that's right. We're going to run it this week, Wednesday through Saturday for lunch. Probably going to be closed for Christmas week, but we're definitely going to open it up on this week and be looking for that during the new year too.
Y'all's sandwiches that you do out of that truck, and I know you do a lot of different things, but that pulled pork, I guess it was, sandwich with the coleslaw and the sauce. Ooh, and then they put up a picture they were making, I guess, mini pecan pies. You brought us a big one, but y'all had the little almost single serving pies, which are perfect to pick up a sandwich and a pie from the food truck.
Yeah, we're going to have those bourbon pecan chocolate pies for the holidays. We're also going to have we have some brisket chili in the store right now, and some potato pork belly soup too. So we have some different things.
What is potato pork belly soup? I've never heard those words together.
We just kind of put it together, and it tasted fantastic. We also, on the trailer yesterday, we had a tri-tip grilled cheese sandwich, which turned out to be fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
So we always got something special, brewing in our trailer and in our store as well.
Love the tri-tip.
Tri-tip grilled cheese sandwich.
That was the sandwich. It was a tri-tip sandwich. It was a shredded tri-tip sandwich that you had. That's what it was. Yeah.
That sounds like heaven. That sounds like game day. All right, so a tri-tip grilled cheese sandwich and the brisket chili?
That's right, yep.
I've got to try the brisket. I'm going up today or tomorrow. I got to try the brisket chili.
It's really good. We put it together about a month ago, and it's really sold out just about every week. So It's been a very popular item for us.
Y'all been busy?
We have been getting ready for the holidays, trimming tenderloins and rib roast, and selling a lot of chuck roast and just different items. So it's a good time of year.
So I got a beef tenderloin. Let's see. I picked up the beef tenderloin from you last Friday, and I think we've smashed 60% of it.
Yeah, they're fantastic. They're really good.
It's a lamp. You can cook it all, or you can slice them up into fillets. Cook it whole, or slice it up into fillets.
Yeah, that's really the best way to buy tenderloin. Instead of coming in and getting those fillets, buying that whole tenderloin, and we can trim it up for you, and that way everybody kind of gets what they want.
Yeah. Will Sanders, Welcome Home Beef, Starkville, Mississippi, Main Street. You can go in. It's retail, so you can walk in today, load up on everything that Will's telling us about, or you can go to welcomehomebeef.com and order something for the holidays, game day, NFL, bowl games, college football playoff, and so on. Blake?
Let's hit this prime rib, too, because as I told Will in the break, prime rib to me is one of those undervalued cuts.
It's one of my favorite entrees.
People think
meals.
1940s, but that's not.
No, that's not.
It's not cafeteria prime rib. No. This is like good stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a large piece of meat. It'll feed your whole family, and it's just going to taste delicious. It's going to have that ribeye, that flavor to it, and it's fantastic for a holiday meal. And like I said earlier, you'll just look like a king when you put it on a plate and get it carved up.
Do we have a listener that had a question?
Yeah, I didn't know if we were going to ask it on the air, but he wanted to know if you guys sell neck bones, beef neck bones.
We have marrow bones. I don't think we have any neck bones in the store, but I know we have marrow bones in the store.
There you go.
Interesting.
I guess that's for stocks. Or
a lot of people use them for soup.
Gotcha.
Like the marrow bones, they'll use them for soup and things like that.
Okay.
I've got to try this brisket chili and this tri-tip grilled cheese at Welcome Home Beef. Blake?
Yeah. No, I'm about it. Welcome. I've been going there since. Even before you were on the show. As soon as y'all opened in Starkville, we were stopping by. So. It's exciting, man. And
I hooked you up with some fillets, and we'll ship them to your door.
Yeah. Aren't we supposed to be getting another set of Christmas fillets?
Okay. Well, I think we'll probably
finagle that.
We'll probably drop 4 more fillets at your doorstep next week.
Yeah.
Maybe by Tuesday or something.
I do want to do the I've never bought a big cut of meat like that because it's tenderloin? Well, I don't go to butchers normally, like on a day-to-day, but so like growing up, it wasn't like I was going to a butcher. So I kind of do.
It's the way to go.
I want to get a big one, or like the big prime rib, or something like that, and do something fun. I gotta do that. Yeah,
you'd love it.
It's kind of my next foray into cooking is the bigger pieces.
All right, we'll have to get the Blakey Blakester a whole beef tenderloin.
Finagled, let's go.
Yeah. God, you're always getting stuff. It's just amazing riding my coattails. Hey, Will, thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Bo.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays to you and your family and your team. Thank you so much for your partnership. You guys are doing a great job. If you're in the Starkville area, go to Welcome Home Beef on Main Street. But this is also a layup. You can go to welcomehomebeef.com. And as Will said, they already have some packages. But if you want to customize yours, just call them. They'll ship them to your door. Birmingham, Hattiesburg, the Delta, Memphis, Atlanta, wherever you're listening, welcomehomebeef.com. Good morning, good morning. The SEC Insider Hit this morning is brought to you by Welcome Home Beef. Want to thank Will and the team for bringing in some bone-in short ribs and prime rib. A couple other things that I can't wait to try. The brisket chili, which they have there at the shop, and a tri-tip grilled cheese at some point. Will said maybe in a month or two he's going to bring down the Welcome Home Beef truck. We'll park it in the parking lot. We'll invite like 10 to 15 P1s, and we'll have a little fun food and beverage maybe on a Thursday or Friday and celebrate maybe baseball season coming up, Ole Miss and MSU. I know the excitement there. They should both be ranked in the top, 15, 20, maybe even both in the top 10. I don't know. Out of bounds, 105.9 The Zone. Yes?
It is not super hard to get to Omaha.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Shouldn't pick on him. He hadn't been in the studio in like a month.
No.
Love Chris.
Yeah. Hope that Chris gets healthy and 100% for sure. But that is still one of the best. That is still one of the best, I guess, cut-ups.
Yeah.
And it kind of rubbed them wrong. Like, they had cut up stuff of us for years.
Yeah.
And dropped it. But then when we did it, I don't think it landed as well. But anyway.
Much like
it is what it is.
Much like the in-state rivalry. It's always okay if you're doing it, but it's never okay if someone else is doing it.
Oh, I no doubt.
Right?
No doubt. The perception right now is that Ole Miss smoked Mississippi State in recruiting. I don't think that that's necessarily the case, but they did throw down with the number 18 ranking in recruiting.
That's right.
Mississippi State is ranked 36th. And we'll see if they sign any more players today and tomorrow. And then we'll see what they do in January/early February. So there's several pieces to this. And then we'll see what the transfer portal looks like for the Lane Train and the Pirate. There you go. And I think there'll be some more recruiting news today and tomorrow.
100%. Well, we still have Ty Cooper on the board.
And he may push till February, but who knows? And there could be some other guys that that put the ink or God forbid, I can't remember last time I faxed something. 8 years ago.
Did you see where Dave Emmerich with Mississippi State tweeted out that picture of the fax machine? He said, "We're ready. Just kidding. Nobody uses these anymore."
That's so funny.
Yeah. Now you just picture.
Don't you just take a picture?
Yeah,
and
they literally
send
it on their phone and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Man, nothing like a fax machine. Those were the days, though. I guess. We had a souped up when we were at Pear Orchard. We had this. They still do. I mean, they have like a mega copier
fax machine
scanner faxer thing.
Every major office had that. I think that was like what you did. I will say, do you remember a couple years ago when the Browns were trying to get a trade deadline done on trade deadline day, and they didn't get it finished because their fax machine stalled out, and it didn't send it before the end of the hour. They literally, and this was like only like 3 or 4 years ago, they missed a trade on trade deadline because they were using a fax machine and it didn't get it. Like something happened and it didn't work.
Oh wow,
that's incredible! A fax machine within the last 10 years. Yeah,
that is amazing.
That's Browns football for you,
man. I wonder what NFL Chuck thought that day. We just need to stop. Just close it down.
Yeah, shut this thing down.
We messed up a trade via fax or whatever.
Hey, he had to feel good about Palazzolo though, who said, "Listen, even I was down and out on my boy Baker Mayfield, and he had Baker top 10 rookie year." If we had that conversation with him. And so he was like, I'm questioning, I'm doubting, and he thinks the Browns can win with Baker. So that's got to feel good for Chuck.
Yeah, but can they?
I think so. I think Palazzolo's pointed out in the NFL, you don't have to be elite at quarterback. Now, it helps. It makes it easier. But look at the last 10 years of Super Bowl runs. When you take out the Brady wins, like the rest of them, it's not necessarily all elite quarterbacks winning Super Bowls. You need a top half of the league quarterback, and I think Baker can play like that at times, which is really Eli Manning proved it. He was 9-7, and all he did was play great for 4 weeks, and they won a Super Bowl. So, I mean, all you got to do is turn it on.
All you got to do is turn it on.
Come on,
I think
baby.
That's harder than the way you just framed it up. I think that's extremely difficult.
Nick Foles went on a Super Bowl run with the Eagles.
I know, and we do have some of those.
Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl with.
I know.
You know what I mean? So
Nick Foles, Brad Johnson, and Trent Dilfer, but that's 3 out of the last 17 Super Bowls.
But I mean, I would put Eli in that conversation. That he was not playing at a top 10 quarterback level that year. He just played really well for 4 weeks in the playoffs. I mean, that's another one that fits the exact same model.
Joe Flacco.
He had a great season. That contract year season was phenomenal, and that was his best career year.
And he made over $100 million
off that 1 year.
Isn't that incredible?
Because he bet on himself. Because he said, "No, I won't take your low offer. Franchise tag me or do whatever, and I'll go win the Super Bowl." And that's what they did.
Right.
And they paid him $90 million for it.
Ball control offense,
which is incredible.
Really good D.
Harbaugh switching from Flacco to Lamar Jackson.
That's incredible.
Is there a bigger swing?
Well, no, because Flacco is a statue dinosaur.
Exactly.
I mean, you can't even do that anymore.
No.
That's a great going from Joe Flacco
to Lamar Jackson,
who runs probably a 5.3 40, to Lamar Jackson, who's what do you think he is? 4.35, 4.4?
If not the most athletic quarterback in the league, top 2, top 3.
Yeah.
I mean, he's right there.
Right.
Not even close to the same offensive scheme. I mean, not even remarkably close.
No.
Yeah. So that's an amazing job by John Harbaugh. But what's interesting is that turnaround is almost the exact polar opposite of what Mississippi State's trying to accomplish with Mike Leach.
You are exactly right. What they have been running for 90 years, even Dan incorporating some more passing, because they swung so far back to a running QB with Fitzgerald that, I think people thought he was about to build on slinging it around the field like he did in 14 and 15. They didn't just go back. They went way, way back, I think, to probably 70% running.
Nick's first year was his second highest rushing year of Dan Mullen's tenure at Mississippi State. They ran the ball more than second most. I think like 11 was their number one running year. They were running that triple option out of the wing, for like half the season.
So it was Fitz and Ayers Williams, or was it someone else?
No, I think that was Ayers in 2007. No, 16. 2016. Yeah. I don't know. Now I'd have to go back and remember. I can't remember.
Was
that still
Ayers
Holloway?
Williams. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Dan did that to Dak Prescott and should have been put in jail. Between what they left Dak in 2015 is almost hard to do.
Yeah.
Or what they didn't leave.
War crimes.
Golly. My goodness. I'm still not sure how he didn't get put in an ambulance against Alabama.
I've never
in
seen
2015.
Never seen anyone's body be purple the way Dak's body was purple after the Alabama game. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
They converted a tight end, Rufus Warren, to a left tackle, and I'm sure he's a good kid, but he did need to be the left tackle for West Georgia. And then they put Brandon Holloway behind him, who weighed 142 pounds. I mean, I outweigh Brandon Holloway by 20 pounds or 15-ish. Anyway. All right. How did we get there? Oh, we were talking about Flacco and Lamar Jackson. That is pretty extreme, and you're right on Mike Leach. what Kiffin's trying to do at Ole Miss has been doing.
Yes.
They recruited to that. They had the personnel. Mm-hmm. Again, it was a really nice fit. What Mike Leach is trying to do with the personnel that Joe Moorhead and Dan Mullen left him is like trying to learn the Chinese language in an hour.
Without a Chinese teacher.
Right.
Yes, correct. No, I compared it to like taking a bunch of baseball players and trying to field a football team. Are baseball players athletic? Sure. Can they play football? No, that's why they play baseball.
Right.
It's the same thing. You're taking a bunch of kids who are road, ground and pound. I've never been in an offense that threw the ball more than 25 times a game, and you're saying, hey, we're going to throw it 60 times a game, And I would argue that what John Harbaugh has done in Baltimore is an example of adaptation and a willingness to bend who you are, whereas Mike Leach, maybe to his own detriment, and we'll see how long this plays out and what it ends up being, won't even budge a little bit, which may be what ends up costing him in the long run.
Leach?
An inability to just meld what he's doing to the modern day SEC.
I think you're going to be wrong. And I think...
I hope I am. I hope I'm 100%
I just think they're going to be 5 times better on offense next year. And if you can't see... I mean, I see it now. I think that they're taking strides and steps. It's still not going to look right this year, but by next year, they'll look totally different on the offensive side of the football.
I guess what I'm thinking about is the way Palazzolo talked about floor and ceiling. I agree with you that they will be better. I just wonder if Mike Leach's ceiling would be higher if he would do a little bit of the adaptation that maybe some of his, mentees have done over the course of their, 20-year coaching since Leach has been in the league. The adaptation and the evolution of the air raid seems to be working better in certain areas than what the true air raid has worked in certain areas. So that was, I guess, would your ceiling be higher with a little bit of willingness to grow and adapt to 2020 SEC football?
Fair enough. And is the Ole Miss offense going to be as explosive next year? It may be.
Who do you lose, right? I mean, you could lose half your offense, or you might get half back. You don't know with some of these guys right now.
Ole Miss in position for the Outback Bowl. We're about to drop Show Me the Money, but I just wanted to. If you missed our Outback segment at 8:15, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I did. You can check out Apple Podcasts, search the Out of Bounds Show. Apple Podcasts, search the Out of Bounds Show. The show is brought to you by Chris Corley with Angel Oak Home Loans. He'll refinance your next home. Chris Corley, rates look great. Chris Corley, Angel Oak Home Loans. Chris Corley, he'll refinance your next home. The show is also presented by Mississippi Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center. Any age, any sport, any injury, they've got you covered at MississippiSportsMedicine.com. And Blake, are we ready for Show Me the Money, powered by the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook?
When the lights are about to be turned off, you know what you need. Because you gotta somehow make that paper, right?
Right. Show me the money!
You come to the right place for that. Because it's time for Bo Bounds to
Show me the money!
To show you.
I'm feeling this today.
Good.
It's game day, and I'm feeling Show Me the Money. I want to hear from our listeners. Mississippi Ag John Deere Tractor text line 601-885-3776. Blake?
All right, we're going to start with the national game of the week, Ole Miss at LSU. Ole Miss, 2.5-point favorite against the Tigers on the road. That line has moved 4.5 points.
All the money is on the Ole Miss Rebels.
Who you got? Rebels,
which means you usually
2.5.
should go with the other team, and so I'm not. I'm going with Ole Miss, and I'm going with them covering.
Show you the money.
I think this game could be close, believe it or not. I know LSU's look like a train wreck. I get it. I know they don't know what they're doing, and I know Ed Ogeron's not the long-term solution down in Baton Rouge. And they've got some serious issues going on down there. But they still have dudes. And they can run it. And they can throw it a little bit. But Ole Miss is just better than them at running it and throwing it. And neither defense has impressed me, right? So I'm going... Now, it could be fun and high scoring. I'm going to go with the Ole Miss Rebels.
I like it. We're going to stay in that game. Over, under.
Oh, I knew you were going to do this.
3.5 passing touchdowns for Matty Ice against that vaunted LSU secondary.
Under, because he can do 3, and then like Ely or Elijah Moore on a jet sweep or something like that could score. They could score a couple times there. So I'll go 3 passing touchdowns for Matt Corral. Ely gets 1, maybe Parrish, maybe Snoop, maybe Elijah Moore or something like that. And Corral could run it in, too.
That's true.
Okay.
He's been much more athletic this year than maybe given credit the year
that
before.
guy's slippery and he can rip off a 20-yard run in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Speaking of 20-yard runs, we're going to stay in that game for one more. That vaunted Ole Miss defense, not known for stopping the run. LSU averaging about 120 yards a game, but they're coming off a monster performance against Florida. Over under 150 on the ground for the LSU Tigers.
Over.
You gonna show me the money.
Over. Yeah.
I like it.
Well, here's the deal. Chris Curry, Tyrion Davis-Price, even Max Johnson ripped off a couple of runs. And that's without John Emery. They thought John Emery was going to be the next whatever. And John Emery, the running back at LSU, had 4 carries for 7 yards, but they ran for 179 against Florida. If they commit to it, they'll do well against Ole Miss.
There you go. We're going to go to the other SEC game of the week, Missouri at Mississippi State. That line has set dead still, probably because nobody with any sense was putting money on it. Missouri -1 on the road. Can Mike Leach and company find a way to get past the mighty Missouri Tigers?
Yes.
Show me the money.
I'll take, this is a stretch and a reach, probably, but I'll go with Mississippi State in a tight. The only way that they're going to win is, like 27, 24, 28, 27. Whoops, I just pushed on that, didn't I?
Yeah. Well, if you take State,
I'll take the push.
If you take State and they win, you don't push.
Oh, that's
take
right.
Missouri and they win.
28-27 then,
you
my
win.
man.
All right, we'll see how tight that is. At 28-27, you might have answered this next question. Over under the 49 total points for Missouri and Mississippi State.
Over. Not by many, though. Not by many.
Not by many. We'll stay in that game one more time. More touchdowns or turnovers for Mississippi State in that ball game. That's kind of been the key to their season.
I'll go touchdowns.
Show me the money.
I'm trying to be optimistic. People say that I'm too hard on Mississippi State.
Well,
and there's some truth to that.
As everyone says, it's no fun betting the under. Just bet the over.
That's for sure. That is for sure.
All right, let's get to some SEC, or I should say conference championship games first. We'll start with Friday night. We mentioned it. Southern Cal and Oregon facing off for the Pac-12 title game. Southern Cal undefeated. Oregon in by default. Southern Cal's a 3-point favorite. Who you got?
Oh, gosh. Who do I have in this game? Southern Cal's a 3-point favorite?
That's correct. Our friend Graham Harrell.
Do I go with Joe Moorhead? Or do I go with Graham Harrell?
Joe Moorhead's offense has been one of the best in the Pac-12 this season, for whatever that's worth. Go with Graham Harrell. I don't know. That's who I'm going to go with.
All right, I'll go with Oregon.
You gonna show me the money.
There you go. We'll stay in order as they air.
By the way, that game for our listeners is tomorrow night.
Yep, 7 o'clock.
Pac-12 championship game, Southern Cal and Oregon, if you're bored, or 2, if you want to bet on it.
There you go. Northwestern Ohio State. This is the largest line of the conference championship games. 20.5 points for Ohio State against the Northwestern team that's actually been to the conference title game 2 out of the last 3 years.
I'm going Ohio State.
Show me the money.
There you go. Easy breezy, beautiful.
And I probably shouldn't.
It's a big
Fitzgerald will, yeah, it is. Do just enough maybe to backdoor this thing, but Ohio State on offense, I'll see if they'll let it rip in the Big Ten championship game.
There you go. Clemson, Notre Dame. This is probably the biggest game in terms of what's on the line.
Yeah.
Clemson, a 10.5-point favorite against Notre Dame, who beat them in double overtime in South Bend, Indiana, just a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Who you got? Clemson minus 10.5.
I'll take the 10.5.
Show you the money.
I'll take Clemson winning by 10. I will definitely take the points.
I would agree with you. I think that's the best call.
Clemson's better. They're going to win. They're going to play in the college football playoff, but I'll take the points.
There you go. Alabama and Florida, the final game. This line started at around 14. It is now up to 17 in favor of the Crimson Tide.
I'm not getting the half? I thought it was 17 and a half.
It's settled at 17 almost across the board. I don't have a single 17 and a half listed. So, minus 17, Crimson Tide, Nick Saban, versus that Florida football team that, can't keep their hands off other people's shoes.
31, 41, 48. I'll take Florida. You can give me the points.
Show me the money!
There you go. That's Show Me the Money.
Oh, I bet people are like, Bo, you are nuts. Alabama is going to blow their doors off, and you may be right. That feels like a lot of points to me. What do you think, Blake? You going to give them?
I probably will. I just think Florida's going to score points. They just aren't going to stop Alabama.
Right.
So this feels much more like Alabama Ole Miss with maybe a little bit bigger gap.
Okay.
Because Alabama's better than they were when they played Ole Miss.
They are. Their defense, they've improved, but their defense
But their
has
offense,
improved.
I could say, it's been, I know they lost Waddle, but they have been humming with Devonta Smith.
They have.
So,
and a two-headed monster at running back.
Yeah, I think I would take the points because I just don't think Florida's offense is going to be inept. I think they will score. Just not enough.
That was fun. I've enjoyed our new segment, Show Me the Money, this football season, powered by the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook and award-winning Dancing Rabbit Golf Club. And I'm so glad that Blake has been able to partake with me. Live in the Bank Plus studio as we're wrapping up a Thursday on the Out of Bounds show. If you missed any of the show this week, you can go to Apple Podcast and search the Out of Bounds show. Apple Podcast, search the Out of Bounds show. You can also go to Facebook and search the Out of Bounds show and check out some of the video we're doing. And we're on YouTube, Out of Bounds Sports. I want to thank Welcome Home Beef and Will and the team for coming in studio today and dropping off some delicious bone-in short ribs, which I thought were amazing. And for Blake not to really eat a lot in the morning, he went right over and grabbed this monster short rib.
Yes, sir.
And ate it in like a minute. And this thing was huge, like a club. That was delicious. And then they cooked a whole prime rib for us. Compliments of Welcome Home Beef in Starkville, Mississippi. It's a retail shop where you can go and pick up bone-in short ribs, fillets, New York strips, ribeyes. But here's the cool thing. Porterhouses, the list goes on and on. Here's the cool thing. They're also doing like lunch specials, which we mentioned. They'll also deliver steaks to your door if you're entertaining over the holidays or you want to send a client thank you or happy or whatever. Go to welcomehomebeef.com. They've got a couple of packages set up for you, but if you want to customize your deal, just call Welcome Home Beef, and that's 662-268-8148. But you can get it online, welcomehomebeef.com, and you can pick and choose what you want, and they'll deliver it to your door. And it's free shipping with $250 orders and up, which is a great thing, too. So Welcome Home Beef, Main Street in Starkville, and check that out. MSU has one more home game. Ole Miss does not. They'll be on the road. So if you're in Stark Vegas this weekend, check out the wings and street tacos at Two Brothers. That's Two Brothers Smoked Meats in the historic Cotton District. They've got a brand new place. It's super cool. I was there last week. We had a feast with some wings and street tacos at Two Brothers Smoked Meats. And then if you're looking for a game day pad, baseball season will be here before you know it. If you're looking for a game day house, zero lot line, they've got 4 move-in ready at Portico. That is the Portico Development. Portico Development right behind the Hilton Garden Inn and Suites. Not even a mile. It's about 3 minutes from Duty Noble Field. And that is Portico Development. Hey, thanks for listening to the show. Brought to you by Chris Corley with Angel Oak Home Loans. We'll shop the best rates for you. Chris Corley, Angel Oak Home Loans. He'll shop the best rates for you. Thanks for listening to the show. Hope you enjoy the Chargers and the Raiders tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Take your next financial move from Hancock Whitney's playbook. Whether your business needs a new winning game plan, you're opening your first checking account, or planning for retirement, our team of experts brings more than 70 years of experience and stand ready to make your dreams a reality. Visit our new financial center on Highland Colony Parkway at 200 Concourse in Ridgeland, or online at HancockWhitney.com/JXN. Hancock Whitney, your dream, our mission. Member FDIC. All accounts subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions may apply.